welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my February faves and fails. I feel like I'm gonna bore some of you if you really religiously watch my videos because I have been doing a Shop My Stash series. So the days that I'm actually wearing makeup, most of the time I've been delving into the stuff that I just talked about in my previous video. And if you've not seen my update for February on my Shop My Stash video and the makeup that I've really dedicated the month to, I will link it above and below. So keep in mind, that's really what I've been using a lot this month. So when I was kind of like going through for my monthly faves and fails, I was like, what else did I use with those products? So I have, even on my limited no buy, one new item that I purchased this month, only one, and it is a drugstore item, and surprise, surprise, it's Wet n Wild. So let's start by talking about that. This month I purchased the Wet n Wild Color Icon Sunset Striptease Bronzer. And in the land of Nichole, you can never have too many bronzers, so I was like, oh, it's Wet n Wild, it's inexpensive, I really want to try this one because I really enjoy their bronzers. I enjoy their highlighters, their bronzers. I love me some Wet n Wild though. This is a bronzer that has worked really well for me in February. So I'm really curious how this is going to play for me in the warmer months once I have more of a tan, because this may not show up on my face as much. But I was noticing my other summery bronzers that have a more distinct undertone to them of those red, deep, vibrant shades, the deeper colors. I was worried because they were just starting to look more like a contour on my face versus a bronzer. So I think this has been a great inexpensive way to get a new bronzer in my collection that I can use right now that I'm really enjoying. But I also don't think you can go wrong with the Wet n Wild bronzer, to be honest. There's one other new thing in my collection that I could talk about with my faves, but this is something I bought back in December that I honestly forgot about, and this is why I need to do this Shop My Stash series, because I have a decent amount of makeup. So this is the Jordana Cat Eye Liner in 01 Black Leather. I was surprised when I opened this up for the first time that this is actually a twist, not a pull-off, and it's a liquid liner that has a little brush at the end of it. I was, for some reason, assuming cat eye liner was going to be like a felt tip where you just kind of like pull it along your eyes and go, but this is actually a tiny little brush, and at first I was like, oh no, I'm gonna hate this. Actually, I love it. It is a lot easier for me to use getting back into eyeliners. I haven't touched eyeliners in a while, and if you saw my Ipsy bag, I also got another eyeliner just this month, so I get to play again with eyeliners, which is kind of fun sometimes when it's just that extra step in the day that usually I've been too lazy to do. Right now, I'm really loving it. I'm wearing this today, and what I like about it, to be real with you, is that I don't have a very steady hand with eyeliner. I always love watching the amazing YouTubers out there be like, oh, and this is how I do my liner with just a little compact and I get the perfect wing. I'm like, I can't do that. That's not my reality. That's not my skill set. So I like that this is a very fine brush and I can really do some detailed work, like in those crevices where I can't reach, underneath the lashes, over the lashes. I really like this a lot. I'm still playing with it because, again, I haven't done liner in a while, and that is a technique in the makeup community. Like, you gotta have a skill and a technique to make this work, and this makes it a lot easier for a girl who's getting back into it. I actually really like it, and it was inexpensive to try. A Boxycharm item that I just realized this morning when I was kind of going through, I'm like, what have I used almost every single day? And it's a Boxycharm item that we just got, and it is the No Problem Primer from Touch and Soul. I thought, you know, I would put this in my rotation and just kind of like use the other things I have. Really, this has been the main thing I've used. It feels like a lotion almost going on. I love a pump too. I mean, that sold it for me as well, just for the ease of use. But when you're putting it on your hand, it just feels like an amazing moisturizer. And for me, I know I have some bossy pores, so I mean, just putting this on right now, I can feel how good it feels going on my skin. I really like applying this, letting it sit for about 5 minutes, maybe even longer sometimes, before I put on my foundation. Now, I've had a few acne pop-ups this month, but I don't think it's due to anything like this. I think that's hormones. So I'm going to keep using this and giving you a more in-depth review in my quarterly Boxycharm review that I do, just to give you a bit more detailed information. But so far, this is all I've used this month since I got my Boxycharm for primers, and I've been pretty pleased with how my makeup's looking, and I do wonder if this is helping me to not have those lines and moving makeup with sunglasses. I've really struggled with that since moving here to Florida. When I put on my sunglasses, always right here, the foundation will move and I'll have those rim spots. So I don't know if it's this or some powders I've been using, so stay tuned. A fail for me this month is a product that I mentioned before. Again, I got this on a deal, super duper cheap at the drugstore in December. They had like a huge flash sale, get rid of everything. And I was buying a lot of Jordana products. That's how I learned about this little cat eye. I told you guys in my Shop My Stash, I tried 2 new mascaras. This is the one that's just been a flop for me every time I've tried to use it, and it is the Jordana Fabu Brow Eyebrow Pencil. This little sucker comes off way too red. I also am just not a huge fan of like an actual pencil that's really stiff. It pulls really too red, and it also, I tried it again this past month. It started like plucking out my brows even when I was just using the edge of it and lightly going through. Somehow it was just like not vibing with my skin. So I'm thinking I just may, I mean, I think this was like $1.50, $2 maybe. This may just end up being decluttered for me. It just doesn't vibe with me, and I feel like the reason I'm going through this Shop My Stash series this month is because I need to be mindful of what I'm keeping, not just bringing into my collection for my limited no buy and stuff. It's just like, what am I keeping in my collection? I could put this in an eyeliner drawer, but like I just said, I'm just getting back into eyeliners, and I don't ever really reach for a pencil piece ever for an eyeliner. So I think this is getting decluttered. Something that I got from my Ipsy bag is something that I have reached for over and over, and I thought I liked it in the video, but I like it so much more now that I've tried it longer term. And it is the, I'm gonna hopefully say this right, Ico London Lash Alert Mascara Wake Up and Go. This little baby is amazing on the eyes. You just literally squeeze the tube, pull it out. You have a beautiful curved wand, which not always, I don't always like those, but I do with this. And then you just apply it to your eyelashes. And what it does, in my opinion, at least for my eyelashes, is it kind of take maybe 1 or 2, 3 lashes, pull them together to give you an elongated, great eye look. For my eyes and my lashes, I enjoy that, and I think this did a really good job. I'm so sad that this is actually just a small little guy because I feel like I'm going to go through this really quickly, but I was surprised how much I liked this, and I think I'm going to look up how much it is for a full size because it takes a lot for a mascara to kind of like wow me and impress me because it didn't have any fallout, I didn't have any crumbles at the end of the day, nothing was smeared, and it didn't take a lot of effort to make it look good. So loved this. Speaking of a mascara, let's talk about a fail. And it's mostly a fail because I mentioned this in my Boxycharm video. I knew we were getting this, and I knew how I felt about it before. I've had 2 tubes of this before we got it with Boxycharm, and it is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. I saw this really hysterical meme in one of the Boxycharm groups on Facebook that was like, what kind of sex are those Too Faced people having? Because this is nasty. I don't like it. So, sorry, don't be offended. I think it's hysterical because I don't think it's like terrible at first. It just reminds me of the superhero mascara, the It Cosmetics one, where it gets crazy clumpy and you have to like work around the clumps, try to get it off the mouthpiece, and then you're like, oh, the mouthpiece is now all clumpy, but you're still trying to get the eyelashes going. I'm wearing this today because I was still giving it another whirl. I'm still going to use this up to the best of my ability, and a lot of you said you do want to see in a future upcoming video a comparison of this up to my Essence Lash Princess that I told you I think is a great dupe for it, and it's $4.99. Crazy cheap compared to this baby. I'll use it up, and I will definitely put this in my quarterly Boxycharm review to give you a more in-depth close-up look, but I'm wearing it today, and it actually got up on my lids because it's already so clumpy and we just got it, and underneath my lashes up in the corner here right after I had done my makeup. And that's so frustrating when you finally get your makeup looking good, you put on your mascara, and then towards the end you're like, oh, now there's a smudge here, and now there's a smudge here, and it's just because this is so darn clumpy. Not a fan, sorry, won't be rebuying this on my own. Since we are in the cooler months right now, I love to pull out every now and again some dewy products. Even though I have more oily skin, wintertime it's kind of more combo, or I've got some dry areas, but I do eventually get oily. This is the time of year I get to pull out the dewy things, and I get really excited about it. And I have not talked about this product in a long time, and it is the NYX Dewy Finish Face Spray. I have used this a lot this month because 'tis the season to be able to have some dewiness without looking too oily. I use this today. I have been using this throughout the week, and it just kind of gives a little bit of like luminosity to my face. And when I first discovered this, I went into work one day, went in to talk to like HR or somebody, and we were talking about a work project, and she was just looking at me. She's like, "Your makeup looks so good today." And this is the only thing that I had done new. It just kind of gives this like glow, a luminosity from within. It makes your skin look healthy. So I get excited when I get to pull this back out, because usually come summer, I can't. So I'm loving this again right now, and I thought it was worth an honorable mention in my faves and fails. This is where I'm gonna feel like I'm a little repetitive with these last few favorites, simply because I have been using so much of my Shop My Stash, but these are things that I have been relying on to balance out the products I've been trying. I've got two eyebrow pencils here that I adore. I'll go through this really quickly so I don't bore you too much. This is my Winky Lux eyebrow pencil. If you've been on my channel for a while, you will know we got this from Boxycharm last year, and I fell in love with it. This is my second one. I enjoy this because it is a stiffer product. It doesn't swatch for crap, so a lot of people did not like it when they first got it. Look at that, I can't even really get it to swatch too well on my hand right now. There it goes, it's building in the camera, I can see it. But what I really like about it is that it does stay. It really builds a more natural looking brow. It has a more triangular tip to it, so it's easier for me and my techniques to really build a brow that looks real and not too crazy. I love to use this in tandem with a ColourPop Brow Boss. I talked about this recently as well. I love how small this tip is, so I can really blend into my brow. I like that this is darker than my light brown ColourPop pencil, because then I can build some dimension in my brows and it makes them look more natural. I actually went out to dinner with my husband and out to some drinks, and I got two compliments. Two different waitresses had told me, "Your brows are on point," and I'm like, this is what I'm using, and I love them. A face brush that I have rediscovered and started re-loving this month. I've always enjoyed it, but I kind of moved away from it at the end of last year because we got some amazing Luxie brushes from Boxycharm in our Boxy Lux. So when I was going through my Shop My Stash, I've been going through this Bare Minerals palette and really giving this matte product some love. I didn't like it before I was trying it out. This brush really helped with it. This is just a huge Wet n Wild face brush. That's all this is. I hadn't touched it in a while. I really enjoyed putting this all over the face of the brush and then pressing it into my skin or buffing it around. This with the flatter head on it worked so much better. And it sounds silly, but when you're an oily girl and you work with a lot of powders, you start to learn which powders work well with what brushes or what you tend to gravitate to, and I'm a creature of habit in some ways. So I was like, oh my god, I forgot how good this is with powders, and I started reusing this brush again with other powders as well, and I love it. I just thought I'd give this another honorable mention. If you didn't know, I adore some Wet n Wild brushes. One last fail is a Boxycharm item. I thought I really liked this product. I don't remember how long ago we got it. This is the Violet Voss Lippy, and it's got beautiful packaging. I've always thought this is stunning packaging. This is in the shade Wasted. I tried this again one day on a whim, and the color changes for sure. I remember thinking that too when I was doing the try-on inserts of this. I remember going, whoa, this changes drastically in color. I thought like a pinky nude shade, which I'm pretty excited about. Oh no, not pinky nude at all. It's more of a dusty rose. No, it's definitely more of a pink than I was expecting. Not so much of a dusty rose after it gets on your face and it dries down a little bit, but also it just dries and then it gets patchy, and it was mostly super uncomfortable. And I remember just thinking, this is super uncomfortable. Did I like this before? I don't remember loving it. Not like my Ofra. Ofra, I love you. It's a serious relationship between you and I. This was kind of a fling. I'm gonna keep it in my rotation to put on with the gloss over it, but as far as living on its own as a liquid lipstick, I am just not a fan. I can already feel it tightening on my hand right now, and it's just starting to pull, and I'm just like, on your mouth? It's no bueno. I also remember drinking a lot of water that day, and then when you go to lunch, it's just gone. So there are better ones out there for sure, at least for me. Now we are to the part of the video that I love every month, because I shout out my frequent commenters every month. I see you guys all month long. You are part of my favorite part of the month, so I love doing this. None of your business, I see you in every single video, leaving me amazingly long content. You're telling me your thoughts, you're giving me your personal reviews. I adore that, and I see you every video, girl. How you doing? Raina Peace is another small YouTuber here on the platform, and she has followed me for so long. I've probably shouted you out before, girl, but I know that you are like doubling down on like commenting all the time. You've been commenting and messaging me on Instagram. I love seeing you guys on all the platforms, so thank you so much. And thanks for giving me all your thoughts and your feedback as well, because that is amazing. That's why I love our little community. It's so positive and so just uplifting for everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you happen to be new to my crazy little channel, hi new friends! I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below to see all the fun, loud, weird, unique videos I put out every single week. Bye friends!